Join me as I put affirmations to the test and see if they can actually boost my business success. Affirmations have become a staple in personal development and business circles. They're essentially, in some circles, positive statements that you're supposed to repeat to yourself, often with the goal of rewiring your brain to be more confident, more focused, or successful. You've probably seen people writing them down in their journals, posting them on social media, and even setting reminders on their phone to repeat them throughout the day. Now, I've got a spin on that. So stay tuned to how to make sure they work for you. I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes, and today, do affirmations really boost business success? And what do you say to you? See, some people swear by affirmations, claiming that they've helped them land their dream job, grow their business, or overcome self-doubt. But not everyone is convinced. In fact, there's a fair amount of skepticism surrounding affirmations. Some folks view them as nothing more than mere feel-good mantras, or lacking real substance or scientific backing. They argue that simply repeating positive statements isn't enough to drive meaningful change. It's the name it and claim it, the nab it and grab it type of mentality, or I'm just going to visualize and manifest what I want. I'm attracting everything. So, do affirmations actually work? Can they really boost business success? It's a valid question. And especially if you're considering incorporating them into your daily routine. And many say do it before in the morning as well as in the evening to make sure that you're set up for success all day long. See, one concern is that affirmations might be a form of magical thinking. That is simply repeating positive statements will somehow magically lead to success. Sounds a little bit like Lucky Charms. Anyway, research suggests, though, that affirmations can have a positive impact on our mindset and our behavior. Studies have shown that repeating positive affirmations can increase self-esteem, reduce stress, and even improve problem-solving skills. Now, if you know me, I'm going to say for my circle of faith-based individuals, entrepreneurs, queenpreneurs, and kingdom-minded businesses, it's not just positive thinking. It needs to have scriptural backing. In other words, if God says it in his word, we can stand on business, right? Absolutely. We stand on his promises, we walk out his principles, and we live the abundant life that he died for us to have. You can check out my playlist on affirmations to get you started, to keep you reminded, and to propel you forward. So I take it up a notch, if you would, and not just the pie in the sky desires, but adjusting your thinking, adjusting your crown in order to align with God's design. It's the mental and the spiritual together that makes the difference. So let's talk personal development first, and then hold on, because your business can get a boost as a byproduct. See, personally, I have an executive coach. And when I was asked to visualize the future and create a 20-year plan, yeah, I've been talking a little bit more about that, especially in these couch talks. 20 years, regardless of your age, 20-year plan. It took a little bit of time. But once I got into it, in these 12 different areas that I needed to identify where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, I ended up having some declarations as well as some scriptural references that went along with it. Now, the other day, I reviewed them before presentation. And let me tell you, I showed up ready with more confidence. My posture, my energy, my expectations were marketably different. I felt it. And it was not just, you feel it a little bit. It was beyond more than being optimistic and personally not playing small. The outcome, though, was my desire for it, or the outcome with my desire for engagement and follow up was double my expectation. Now, was it because I read those beforehand and I showed up, or was it the information that I was giving? I'm saying it's a little bit of both. But when it comes to business, affirmations could potentially help entrepreneurs stay focused, motivated, and resilient in the face of challenges. So let's look at the science behind it for just a little bit. See, the psychological mechanisms behind affirmations are rooted in the concept of self-talk. When we repeat positive statements to ourselves, it can help rewire our brain's neural pathways, making it easier to adopt a more positive mindset. Is the glass half full or half empty? See, this in turn can lead to increased confidence, creativity, and productivity, all essential qualities for business success. 'Cause let's be honest, if you don't believe in you and your business, no one else will. They're actually buying you. You won't persuade others to employ your services or even buy your products. And then, from a leadership standpoint, for organizations, you won't influence your team to buy into your vision. And worse yet, they definitely won't act on it. So, creatively, when you are in the frame of mind that you are a unique individual, you have a divine assignment, and you have the giftings to go along with it to do something, you begin to see what you didn't see before. For me, it was the systemic frameworks that were complicated as well as barriers for success. I started seeing changes and solutions everywhere. Productivity also increases, allowing your think time to generate ideas and continue to process the process of positive momentum. You get more. Now, I'm not sure how true it is, but there's a story that's been told that Jim Carrey, in his younger days, reportedly wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services, and he dated it Thanksgiving 1995. He added in the notations, okay, because we don't really write checks anymore, but he said for acting services rendered. And he carried that check with him everywhere that he went. But by 1995, he had earned more than $10 million. Let me say that one again. He had earned more than $10 million for his acting career. Now you put that in your pocket. So what do you say to you? Now, generally speaking, you want to make it positive, right? You want to be forward thinking in what you say to yourself. You want it steeped in the word of God. This means that you need to remove the self-talk and you need to reframe it. You need to think about what you're thinking about and be intentional about your words. After all, the Bible does tell us that the power of life and death is in your tongue, right? Now, from a business standpoint, you should rehearse your mission and your vision. Why? Because now you know where you're going and you're reminding yourself of your goals that you've set. Remind yourself of your value added proposition. How are you uniquely created in order to solve this problem? When you go in with that in mind, you show up more royally. You also need to know your core values and build yourself up before every conversation and presentation. Also, you should write out your goals, your desires, your vision for the future, and identify the scriptures that really back it up. In other words, employ who you are becoming. And when you embody that, oh, the sky's the limit. Now, the relationship between even biblically based affirmations and business success isn't a simple matter of cause and effect, right? So while affirmations can be a powerful tool to cultivate a positive mindset, they're not a replacement for hard work, strategic planning, or a solid business plan. Got to do the work, right? Now, if you're considering incorporating these affirmations into your daily routine, and I really hope that you are, be clear about what you want to achieve and make sure your affirmations are specific and measurable and they're aligned with your goals. So, what's your take on affirmations? Have you used them to boost your business success? Or do you still remain a little bit skeptical? Share your experiences in the comments below. And then I'm going to ask you to do something else. Share this with at least 3 entrepreneurs. They need that encouragement too. And then make sure, let's build this community of empowerment for others as well. And then subscribe also to this channel if you're interested in exploring a little bit more about your personal development as well as your business organizational development and those strategies. And make sure you check out my next video on goal setting. I'll see you next week. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week. I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes with Heart to Heart Truth Ministries, helping you put feet to your faith so that you can walk victoriously, helping you also reimagine your future so that you will have unstoppable success. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your week. God bless.